The Constituent Assembly on May 1st, 1947 was debating the fundamental rights, and particularly Clause 18 came into consideration and it was heavily debated. So Clause 18 was about minority rights. So the Clause 18 states that minorities in every unit shall be protected in respect to their languages, script and culture, and no laws or regulations may be enacted that may operate oppressively or prejudicially in this respect. So the unit here in this sense are the provinces or the states for that matter. The second subclause. No minority, whether based on religion, community, or language, shall be discriminated against in regard to the admission into state educational institutions, nor shall any religious instruction be compulsory imposed on them. Subclause 3, subsection A. All minorities, whether based on religion, community, or language, shall be free in any unit to establish and administer educational institutions of their choice. The state shall not, while providing state aid to school, discriminate against schools under management of minorities, whether based on religion, community, or language. As we can see, these are the rights which are first enshrined in our constitution later as minority rights. So when the debate of this particular rights were happening, there were amendments by Mr. K. M. Munshi and Mohanlal Saxena and even Mahavir Tyagi, who agreed with these amendments that these clauses be referred back to the advisory committee for its reconsideration, especially the subclause 2. So the reasoning behind their reconsideration argument was that they wanted to ensure that they wanted to first see whether the rights to the minorities that were given in, for example, say Pakistan, they wanted to see that first, and only after that they wanted to implement the minority rights in India. So here is the argument of Mahavir Tyagi. So he says, now supposing the governments, the units which belong to the union are committed by means of this clause 18 to certain policy towards minorities, the people here may feel the necessity to knowing as to what is happening to the minorities who reside in those units which have refused to join the union and belong to Pakistan or any parts of India which may organize themselves separately. My suggestion is that on the question of minorities, we may not be committed here, and this question be left over the time when we definitely know as to whether the whole of India is going to be one unit or it is going to be partitioned into two. If there is to be a partition, we must know what is happening to the minorities on the other side, in the other units. Therefore, the question is not so easy to solve just now, and I submit that the whole House will support me when I say that this question had better been hanging fire till we definitely know what is going to be the final shape of India and how the units are going to treat its minorities. So basically, he says that we should only decide on what rights Indian minorities should have only after finding out how the parts that separate from India, like Pakistan, how they are treating their minorities. So this caused a cause of contention and many members went against it. For example, Sir Govind Das. And then Dr. B.R. Ambedkar came with his legendary argument. He said that he was surprised that Mr. Munshi and Mr. Tyagi are trying to refer the clause 18 back to the committee. And let's look at what he says. The only reason in support for this proposal one can sense is that the rights of minorities should be relative. That is to say, we must wait and see what rights the minorities are given with the Pakistan Assembly before we determine the rights we want to give to the minorities in Hindustan area. So that's his argument. He's telling that Mr. Tyagi and Mr. Munshi want relative rights compared to how other country is treating their minorities. So he's telling, sir, with all difference, I must depreciate any such idea. The rights of minorities should be absolute rights. They should not be subject to any consideration as to what another party may like to do with the minorities within its jurisdiction. If we find that certain minorities in which we are interested and which are within the jurisdiction of another state have not got the same rights which we have given to minorities in our territory, it would be open for the state to take up the matter in a diplomatic manner and see that the wrongs are rectified. But no matter what others do, I think we ought to do what is right for our own judgment. And personally, I think that the rights which are indicated in Clause 18 are rights which every minority, irrespective of any other consideration, is entitled to claim. So, in the current scenario, whenever the minority right violations are brought up, we are sometimes asked about what about the rights of minorities in Pakistan or Bangladesh or any of the other neighboring countries for that matter. The logic of the argument is that the the way we should see the minority atrocities in India should be exactly equivalent to the minority atrocities elsewhere, and the rights of our minorities should be considered in such a way, in a relative way. And this is one of the arguments that Ambedkar clearly sought to destroy here. No matter whatever atrocities happen anywhere in the jurisdiction of any other countries around the world, we as a country has a duty to our minorities, and their rights are absolute, and it cannot be subjected to a relative introspection with other minorities in other countries. We have duty to protect our minorities.